Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NuWhoZone. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. My audio avatar always seems to be a little bit off when I come on. It doesn't move first, and then I think nobody can hear me. But we're here for the Angels Take Manhattan, and this is obviously the episode where we say goodbye to Amy and Rory. So get the hankies ready. Obviously, the dumb part of this episode for me is the fucking Statue of Liberty. It's ridiculous. Still. I still don't know what Moffat was doing there. That's ridiculous. How did nobody see the bleeding? Come on, it's that's ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Yeah. Now, so I sent out all the emails to all my guests. So I'm just waiting for them to pop in. But decent story though. I do like this story. There's just a few things in it that I don't like. Obviously, I didn't like the weeping babies either. But we couldn't really see them that much. But there was a couple of scenes there, especially where it burns out the candle, I think, or the match when Rory is down in the basement. I thought that was a bit stupid, but maybe I'll have a different opinion when I watch it again. But this is where I thought Moffat was starting to ruin his own creation in the Weeping Angels, to be quite honest. It's all good and well adding to creation, but don't start getting ridiculous about it. That's the problem I have. I don't know if there's a prequel to this, but we don't really need to watch the prequel because the episode is emotional enough. So I'm just waiting. We got Queen Charlotte there, so I'm just waiting on the rest of me guests. Actually, I better check my phone because I have my phone on charge just in case I've been sent any messages, just in case any guests are not turning up tonight, because sometimes that happens. We have a lot of people that are feeling a little bit icky at the moment. So a couple of the papers are reporting on Jodie Whittaker's Comic-Con appearance, and it seems like already, and I will be covering it in I will be doing a couple of videos next week. I've missed doing the videos. What you call it? I'm going to be doing a few. But Doctor Who fans charged, and this is an exclusive from the Mirror. Doctor Who fans charged an eye-watering £220 for a meet and greet with Jodie Whittaker. £220 to meet one of the worst doctors that we've ever had for this show. Now, myself and Charlotte briefly talked about this last night. I was thinking about it a little bit more. They're rolling her out because obviously they want to try and get the last two specials watched. It's the only reason that I can think logically that she's actually doing these Comic-Cons, to be quite honest. And this shows the desperation, in my opinion, because I don't think it'll be interesting to see how she acts and behaves at this Comic-Con. But I don't think, personally speaking, and this is just my opinion, I don't think she probably wanted to do any Comic-Cons. Not this soon anyway. I say she probably would have let it all die down, and then go out there. Now, I will say this, if there's any fans that are going to this Comic-Con, obviously, I said I'd like to put a few questions to her and stuff like that. But the fans who feel like me are going to this place, I would just say, listen, first of all, if you're gonna go there just to disrupt or cause any problems for the actress, I say don't go. For the simple reason is there's no point of going there. I'd like to pose a few questions to her and Chris Chibnall, right? But I'm going past being angry. But if there's still fans angry and are going to this Comic Con, and because I've seen a few tweets out there, and I just need to acknowledge it. I don't know if it's true because it's coming from the other side, but according to them, there's a few tweets that a couple of people have put up. They've basically said if they were there, that they would say this, that, and the other, and I don't think that's behaviour becoming of a Doctor Who fan. So I would say, if you're angry, just stay away. There's no point. Listen, RTD comes back. We'll have Comic Cons with him. We'll meet the new Doctor. We'll have new companions or companion. We got a lot to look forward to. She's only being wheeled out because of those two specials, I'm telling you. I don't think she would want to do a Comic Con this soon. Or maybe she's no cash and she needs it. Another reason. As I said, I better because Real Super Doctor is not here yet. I know Lee is not well, so I have sent him an email, but Lee is a bit under the weather right now and hasn't been getting much sleep and was sleeping yesterday. That's why he didn't show up yesterday, because he texted me as soon as he woke up to say he was sorry. No need to apologize if you're sick. It's understandable. As I said, get your rest anyway. But just in case you are listening, I have sent you an email if you're up for it. So hold on. I have to tell PD that I sent him his email, because it's not like him not to be here. I'm going to text Real Super Doctor as well, but he could be having internet issues. God love him. Scotland. Scotland seems to be. We have a set panel, John, for these streams. We don't bring any new guests on for the watch-alongs. We have a set panel for both the classic and New Who. Unfortunately, we tried to bring new people on before, and it just didn't work out. So we have a set panel for these watch-alongs. That's why we do streams like Contact, and we do other stuff as well, where we bring on people to discuss whatever topic we're discussing. And also, obviously, we have the TARDIS Zone Talks, and that's another opportunity for people. Yeah, John, I've sent you the email. Hold on. John is saying the email didn't go through, so I better send it to him again. You are the first person I sent it to, because obviously you're in Scotland, and obviously with the internet problems, I actually send you your email, and then actually this is the order I do it in. You're first, then I do Charlotte, and then obviously PD. So yeah. So there, I've sent it again, buddy. I don't know. Did PD say? Because I wasn't really paying attention much to the chat, because we were watching obviously and we were talking a lot. Did PD say anything about in the chat about not turning up? He must be busy. I hope he's well, actually. But here, while we're waiting on the rest, so I've sent Johnny's email again. So hopefully he gets that. But we'll bring on our first guest, and it's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
No, I was in buckets watching this today.
I say you were. I've waited because it won't have the same impact.
Yeah, see, I it's been ages since I watched it, and I could remember the main beats of it, but obviously I watch it without any sound, so I watched it today, and it was like, Oh God, I forgot how hard this was near the end.
Yeah, yeah. As I said to John, listen, there's other opportunities to come on. And maybe what we're going to do is when we get to Peter Capaldi, because when the Noel Clark stuff happened, we were actually on the Russell T
Yes,
era.
near the end, weren't we?
And yeah, we were near the end, but I decided because I didn't feel comfortable doing it at the time because the allegations were fresh and there was a lot of anger. I decided that we would skip forward to the Moffat era, and we started on Matt Smith. So when we get to Peter Capaldi and we finish Peter Capaldi, I have decided now is the time because RTD is obviously returning, and I want to remind fans what his era was all about because I see a lot of comments out there, and I think there's a lot of fans that have forgotten how progressive RTD actually was. So I want to redo his era, including those episodes. Because look, at the end of the day, you know, you know, it's there's nothing we can do with the fact that you know this person happens to be in these episodes. There's nothing we can do about it. So, I mean, as it's been pointed out, a lot of us watch movies out there that have either director or producers have shady past. Do we stop watching those type of movies and stuff? We don't. So, you know, as I said, yeah,
Yeah. No, very quickly. That super doctor who you're talking to, he's got a different account.
no. I sent him. Yeah,
You
but
know,
I said,
in the chat, that John account is super doctor.
oh,
Remember, he said last night he got locked out of his YouTube, so he has to
all
make a
right.
new one.
Oh, Jesus, I'm getting confused, man. I thought it was a new person asking to
No,
come
it's
on.
super doctor.
Oh, John, sorry, man. Sorry. See, I'm an idiot. I was there thinking, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I saw it and I was like, I'm sure that's what he said. The new account.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Actually, he's writing in the private chat there. Probably waiting to say,
Yeah, and PD's in the private chat.
yeah, he's saying, yeah, LOL. He's gonna have a right laugh at me now when he comes on. But let's bring on our other two guests. But look, yeah, this episode's an interesting one. But as I said, we will be doing anyway. Just to let you all know, even though now we know it's real Super Doctor, I'm actually talking to, but I'm talking to you all now. So we will be doing the RTD era. We'll be doing season 1, the 4, and then we'll be doing his specials just to remind everybody how good his writing actually was, his stories, and how progressive he actually was, and how he was able to combine all that to give us what people consider the golden age of New Who. So yeah, very interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people react. Now, obviously, the CGI in some episodes has aged poorly, but I think that gives it a bit of a charm now. To be
Yeah, it
quite
makes it look a
honest,
bit more
it
nostalgic,
does.
doesn't it?
It does, and it gives it more. As I said, Rose, for example, you watch that back. The CGI is awful, folks. Right? But
Plastic
at the
Mickey.
time, that was good CGI for Doctor Who, especially with the money that they had. So everybody was impressed at the time. But it hasn't aged well. But it gives it its charm. But the writing is so good that you kind of ignore that, and that's the difference. But let's bring on our other two guests. So let's bring on Real Super Doctor so he can have a good laugh at me first.
I just couldn't believe it because I told you last night, but I
Oh
was
man, I
I
was
started
half.
to
Well,
post
I
it.
was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, I think that's John.
Yeah,
I just couldn't believe it. I was typing along and Noel was saying to somebody else, and I thought, my God, what haven't I properly explained?
Oh man, that's my fault. I was kind of half listening because I was at that stage we were wrapping up, and a couple of people were in the chat as well, saying something, and I was so yeah, you probably did
I
explain
should
it
have posted
properly.
that link last night, but I never thought I
It's
just went
grand.
off and I got something to do.
PD couldn't do it himself because he was telling me his computer was going through a reboot as well, so he didn't get a chance to put the channels in,
Yeah.
because he was going through. And I hate when your computer reboots because sometimes it takes ages. Actually, without further ado, let's bring him on. It's Mr. PD Rich.
Hello. Yes,
Nice
my
to meet
computer was
ya.
doing its usual tricks last night. Oh, I'm going to update your computer and not tell you. Then I'm going to restart just when you
Yeah.
don't want me to. I'll do it on purpose. Ha!
I know,
Ha!
but do you remember when laptops first came out though?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you had to do an update. It would literally take 20 minutes or something for
Oh, dear,
for
yeah.
everything to
Windows
download.
XP.
Yeah. You'd be literally there waiting ages. Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pain in the
There's
ass.
no
No.
updates, and then the next day you've got 100 updates to install because they've just
I
decided,
know. Yeah.
decided to delay a load of updates. Yeah, well, that was Microsoft for you back in the
It's
day.
it's
Oh,
mad.
I
Right.
know.
Anyway, yeah. I will be talking also, as I said, I'll be doing a couple of streams. I will be talking about this Danny Dyer stuff because these articles are absolutely ridiculous. So I have to poke fun at them. You
Stick with
know
what you're
me.
good, Danny. Stick with
And
good.
listen, it is so. As I
Goodness.
said, you're going to have these nonsense rumors now coming out everywhere. This is the fun part, right? For me, right? It was the same, believe it or not, before Jodie Whittaker was announced Series 11, right? This is the fun part, you know, all the
Yeah, but
speculation.
I feel like it's really stupid this time around.
Oh
like,
no, it is. It is. Do you know why though? This is why, Charlotte, right? Do you know why it's real stupid this time? It's because nobody has a clue,
what's going to happen though?
including Jodie Whittaker. Nobody has a clue who RTD has in mind. And that's why you're getting all these ridiculous suggestions. Now, your woman that played the general in
Oh
Hell
yeah, she
Bent-
said something sensible though. I read a bit of the article. She actually said a good point, which is he could just pick a unknown, somebody who
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Yeah. Now, she did also say that it would be an honor and a privilege to play the Doctor because she is a Whovian, right? Now, I'm not doubting whether she is a Whovian or not, but I am actually sick and tired of that, right? We had it with David Tennant. We had it with, Peter Capaldi. We've had it with, I just, look, I don't care whether you're a Whovian or not, right? This is what I want from the casting. You pick the best person for the role. That's it. That's all I want, right? I just want you to pick the best person for the role. Whether that's an unknown or a known, I don't care. You just pick the best person for that role. And Danny Dyer, right? This is why this makes me laugh. Listen, Jodie Whittaker is a bad actress, right? But Danny Dyer, right, is 10 times worse than Jodie Whittaker. It's at least Jodie Whittaker actually has a level, which is probably just under, look, she's not good enough for Doctor Who, right? She could do Broadchurch and stuff like that where she's not the main actress and she does pretty well, right? And she has led a few shows where she's decent enough. That's fair enough, right? But see Danny Dyer, right? Danny Dyer was in EastEnders. Before that, he had a show on Sky One where he was going around meeting gangs and stuff like that. He nearly shit himself, right? He acts like a hard man and all on screen. He's not even a hard man. He's a big fucking softie. You'd break him like a twig. Anyway, going to his acting though. If people think that Danny Dyer, because I've actually seen, this is why I want to poke fun at it, because I've actually seen fans endorse Danny Dyer. And I'm like, are you for fucking real? Now, if they say, oh, you just criticise Jodie because she's a woman. I'm here to tell you now, right? Danny Dyer is a bloke. I'm going to say it out straight right now on this channel. That guy is not Doctor Who material. And anybody that thinks he's Doctor Who material is living on cuckoo land. Just like the guy who actually said that the Fugitive Doctor got more character development than William Hartnell's Doctor. Now, he was called out for that. Hold on.
What?
He was called out for that. And then what did he do? The same trick that all of these fans on the other side do. He tried to flip it. And he says, I was telling a joke, right? But then
No, you
someone
probably
pointed out,
weren't.
but hold on. Someone pointed out then, but if you were telling a joke, then why did you follow up the original tweet and double down on that tweet if it was a joke? If it's a joke, basically someone said, if it's a joke it wasn't a funny
Where's the
one. Where's
punchline?
where's
Yeah.
the punchline? Basically, it wasn't. He meant exactly what he said, right? And I put up a tweet. Have you noticed how he elevates a female doctor over a male doctor, and then goes and says this doctor has more character development than the white male doctor, basically, right? I'm sick of this, and this came from a bloke, by the way.
Oh no, there's a whole weird group of them that
Right?
that all they do on social media is attack the male doctors and elevate Jodie
Yeah,
and Joe.
yeah,
That's all they do.
yeah. And this is why, and by the way, that's another reason why
Well done, Jamie Knight.
these doctors are hated. Why she's hated, right? See, yous make us hate her even more. The way you go on, she doesn't help herself with interviews, and she hasn't helped herself that her acting is now up to the standard. But you don't help the situation either, because she's arrogance, because you want to tear down each male doctor to elevate either the fugitive doctor, the doctor, even as far as going as tearing down male companions and saying Yaz is the best one out of the whole lot of them and all of this other rubbish. Right? She couldn't polish Jamie's fucking boots. Right? She ain't up to the standard. She ain't. She is the worst companion. Right? Matthew can breathe a sigh of relief now. Adric will no longer be considered one of the worst companions on Doctor Who. That title has been taken.
by Yaz, Ryan, and sadly Dan now.
Yeah, and he's just going to get worse, unfortunately, as the.
Yeah, he really is.
So let's see. Yeah, I told them all about your rumor.
Yeah, the Hugh Grant
yesterday,
thing, Marty.
We spoke about it yesterday. I told them where you got it and all.
It
does seem a bit far fetched, but the more I think about it, and I think Charlotte is probably going to say the same. Hugh Grant, if it's Hugh Grant, I'm on board. I don't care how long he plays the Doctor for, right? I would love him to actually stay for longer than what's being said in the rumors. But Hugh Grant was originally on RTD's list before he cast Christopher Eccleston, right? So I would take Hugh Grant, and I think he after he found out his agent basically told the Doctor Who producers no and never told them. Then when he found out, he spoke about it. I think there's a desire there for him to play the Doctor. I think he would like to play the Doctor. He's a well-established actor, his reputation took a battering in the late 90s, early 2000s, when he was caught with that working lady in a car. And he did that to Liz Hurley, and a lot of people wouldn't forgive him. But he's rebuilt his career. Everybody likes fucking Hugh Grant. I know he made a mistake, but he's been in some excellent shows since then. Recently, wasn't it a very British Scandal or whatever it was?
Yeah, that's honestly,
yeah.
That's why I think his name's coming up, because he's worked with Russell. No, I was going to say, the more I hear possible 60th anniversary rumours,
right,
I think we can pretty much say for certain now it's going to be a series of episodes. Because every rumour has that at least in it.
But here's the interesting thing. RTD actually said it in his first interview. If you actually see, this is what I've said to you. RTD has already left a clue in that interview that this wasn't going to be a one-off event. Read his interview again and his quotes again. He literally leaves a quote there where he talks about the 60th. But the way he talks about it, you can tell that he's basically saying that this is going to be a
like a mini-series.
Yeah, this isn't a one. I told you this was going to be spectacular, man. This is I don't know.
Do something big.
Stuff that I've heard that plans that he's hoping to put in place. If any of that comes true, I can't speak about it right now, but if any of that comes true, we're in for something that I've never seen before. And this is what I think Doctor Who needs. It needs something spectacular. It needs to come back with a bang.
Yeah.
And
It
he
needs to
knows
grab
that.
attention. It needs to
Because if you
be.
heard Ballstreck last night, right, he does represent a lot of how fans are feeling right now. For them,
Make or
Chibnall has
break.
killed.
Yeah.
No, but Chibnall, no, he was talking about his passion. He'll watch as a casual
Yeah.
fan now, no matter what RTD does. And I can understand it because what Chibnall has actually done to fans like Ballstreck and others out there that like feel like him. And I did feel like that for a while, but I've just decided that I will give RTD a chance, But I can understand where Ballstreck's coming from, where he basically said, for him, Chibnall basically killed his passion, and he's only going to watch as a casual viewer now. And in his eyes, the show will never get his reputation back the way he used to see it, basically, in his eyes. And there's a lot of fans that do feel like him. But if he can do this, and I wanted to ask Ballstreck this question, but I'll ask him next week because he will be on next week for Classic, so I will pose it to him. But the question I was going to ask is if RTD managed to do something spectacular and blew your socks away, do you think you could become that passionate fan again? Could he reignite the fire that you had for this show? And I think that is an interesting question. And it would be interesting to hear his answer. But can RTD do it? I hope he does for the likes of Ballstreck's sake and other fans out there, because I really would love them all to be on board with this. I'm not saying they won't be, but their hearts won't be in it basically like it was before. And I hope he can do something that can bring the heart back, make them fall in love with Doctor Who all over again. Because remember the first time you all fell in love with Doctor Who? How that felt. How that felt. Imagine getting that feeling back again. That's
Yeah,
all
like
I want.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking back to, obviously I was with Chris, but my doctor I connected with was Matt, and I'd been thinking a bit about that. Like, I want to go back to watching an episode of a Doctor that I love, and I just like every scene I enjoy. That sort of getting that emotional connection again, because
That's what I
I'm like
mean.
you. I have hope, but I want that connection again, and that's going to be
Same.
the hard thing for me.
Listen, before I came on here, the reason why I kept pushing the stream back every 10 minutes was because me and Cheryl were actually having a conversation, because I was getting the DVD ready and the stream ready, obviously. And then we start talking, and that's the one thing, it's the connection that's lost. I was telling her, about Cobra Kai. I was telling her that it has all of this woke stuff in it. But why am I not on stream complaining about it? Because the character development is great. Because the actors and actresses that are actually playing the roles are likable and not coming out with nonsense for another thing. And the stories are just fantastic. So all of that other stuff that's going on, even though it is there, right? There's a balance to it, right? Like the show itself, I've used that word a lot with Cobra Kai. It's got balance. That's why I think it's one of the best shows on the streaming services right now. I think it is actually the best show, but that's just my personal opinion. That's why I put up a poll and I asked everybody, is Cobra Kai the best show on streaming service right now? I think it is, and I have put the option there if people want to answer and give a different show that you think is better than Cobra Kai. But right now, I think it's one of the best shows on TV. Yes, and it has all of that nonsense in it that I really can't stand. But the difference is that it's actually done properly, and at the same time, while it's there to appease the usual suspects, you've got Johnny Lawrence then, who's kind of a boomer, is a boomer, you might as well say, and calls hashtags hash browns. You have, he calls this generation the pussy generation. Like, there's stuff in that. So that's what I'm talking about, the balance. We're not saying we're opposed to all of this inclusion and wokey stuff. The difference is if you do it properly, right? you will have literally millions of people around the world watching your show. And Doctor Who under RTD did the same thing, Charlotte. So
yeah, no, it's like another thing that I adore on Netflix is Arcane.
yeah,
And that's basically 80% of it are females who lead most of that show. It's not they're basically, by what I think they're doing, they're setting up two of the female characters becoming a couple, and it's done really well. And it's done with sensitivity, and the characters actually, you believe it.
That's what I mean. That's all we want to be. It has to be believable. See, that's where Chris Chibnall, and we don't want to get into a big thing here because we want to do the episode. But that's Chris Chibnall's biggest failing as showrunner, right? He doesn't. You look at the difference between Cobra Kai and Doctor Who. Now, I know they're two completely different shows, but if we're just looking at it and judging it by character development, story development, and character arcs for these characters that these two shows have created, right? In Cobra Kai, right, there's loads of characters to introduce to us in the show, including the two main guys, obviously Johnny and Danielson, right? So you've got all this next generation cast, and what they're able to do within 3-4 episodes is we all have a basic understanding who these guys are, right? The ladies and the guys in this show, including the two main characters, right? So that's character development, right? Now, you look at Doctor Who Series 13, Doctor Who Flux, right? Where was the story arc? Where was the character arcs to Yaz, right? She got a little bit more character development, but do we know Yaz well enough in the show after 3 series and 3 specials? No. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is a prime example of a Doctor that has basically stood still since episode 1. You go back and watch her very first episode and you watch her very last episode, right? That she just recently did, the Dalek one, right? Watch them side by side. I know it's a hard thing to do, but watch them side by side, right? And it's startling how her character has not changed in all of that time. The Doctor is supposed to grow and develop.
Yeah.
No character development, yeah.
Exactly. And none of that happened under Chibnall. This is why Cobra Kai is so successful. You can have all the agenda in it, all the inclusion in it, right? But if you respect these characters and you give them proper character development, we get behind them. And that's exactly what's happened with Cobra Kai. And RTD needs to look at this now. Now, I don't want them going down the nostalgia fest because, Matrix Resurrection showed that you can do it wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yes, for the 60th, give us nostalgia. Series 14, when that show begins, I want to see new stuff from RTD. I want to see more mature writing from him because obviously he's a better writer now. I want to see more complex stories from him as well. But he's very good at that. Because remember, he'd always have a plot and then a subplot running and then another one. He'd have literally 3 plots running through each series. He's a fucking genius. So look, we'll leave it there because we could talk. Oh, this is why I want to do a few streams as well and bring on a few guests because there's a lot to talk about before RTD takes over. And we've got to highlight the big differences between the two because it's startling. And I tell you now, there's a lot of fucking showrunners out there right now that are making a show of what Chris Chibnall has done. It's an absolute disgrace. And Jodie Whittaker, I don't personally think she wants to do these Comic-Cons yet. I think she probably would have laid low for a while and, spent time with her family. But they're obviously wheeling her out because the series Doctor Who Flux didn't do well. And Eve of the Daleks didn't do well. No matter how many ratings or TV zone polls she wins and the episode wins best drama and all that. It doesn't matter. That's all cock and bull, right? Or Mickey Mouse Awards. What actual awards has this show actually won under Chris Chibnall? Go back and look at the awards that RTD and Stephen Moffat both won for Doctor Who. Look at the awards that the lead actors of those shows and their companions won compared to what awards that Jodie Whittaker, Mandip Gill, and there were some, right? In some cases, some of the awards, because we covered this on this channel,
Yeah, they were
some
made
of the
up.
awards were brand new, made up
Stunning
awards
and Brave
that
Award,
they
yeah.
won, right? There was a
Yeah.
Virgin Media Award that just popped out of nowhere that she won,
Yeah,
right? In the BAFTAs, right? She couldn't win a BAFTA, so they said, well, we'll give her another one. Here, we'll make up one, the Virgin Media, believe, whatever. And they gave her that one, right? Mallory Blackman won an award from an award ceremony that was the first time ever as well for her episode. It was it was just all fake. They never won a decent award, right? Doctor Who used to clean up in other award ceremonies, the good ones, years ago under RTD
Yeah.
and Stephen Moffat even though RTD's right was better, Stephen Moffat did win a few awards, and I think Matt Smith even won a BAFTA. Wasn't he the doctor that won the BAFTA?
Think so,
I
yeah.
can't remember. Yeah, because even just quickly, do you remember Tennant announced he was leaving Doctor Who
Yeah,
at the National Television Awards?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how big he was there.
That's what I mean.
That was
Yeah.
how he announced he was going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was huge, man. Look at I have hope, but I'm under no illusion, and it does come with a caveat. I'm under no illusion that this could still go wrong.
Oh, it
But
goes spectacularly wrong.
because of RTD's past history with Doctor Who, I'm a little bit more at ease right now. Only time will tell where this goes, and the casting will be a huge signal, an indicator for everybody in this fandom where he's going with this. If it's an unknown, I don't care who it is, once it was the best person for the role. If it's a known person, again, if you thought that was the best person for the role, then get the best person for the role. That's all I want. The best person for the role. We'll see what happens. Yeah, stupid Golden Tomato Award too. Yeah, they yeah, I never seen that Golden Tomato Award then after that.
Or was that Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes with their Golden Tomato. Remember, we all took the piss out of that one.
Did they get a Razzie? Did they get a Razzie?
Yeah, I don't know.
200 Razzies for Doctor Who.
I don't know, but yeah. There were some funny times actually taking the piss out of this, I have to say. But right,
Raspberries.
Angels in Manhattan, as I said. So we'll just get straight into it. So if everybody in the chat is ready, just press 1. Let me know. I say a lot of you are ready 39 minutes ago. Whereas you know, we always do have a little bit of a chat before we actually start these streams.
And it's only one episode at least when it's new Who.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be finished and all before 9 o'clock. So, well, around that time. So, right, so we got 1-1. We're waiting to get a couple of more. Everybody's probably getting their DVD ready now.
Oh, it's just a delay. You know what it's like, the chat will go, oh, there's not a lot, and then literally 5 or 6 appear.
Yeah.
Now, I have to do this awkward thing where I've got 2 different sets of earphones, and then it becomes very disorientating because I've got you guys speaking in one ear, and then I've got the show in the other ear, and it can become a bit of a...
Never been a camera operator, have you?
I'm glad if I put the camera on...
That's what camera operators get. You get one. You get the show in the right ear and the director in the left ear.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing now. Right, I've got it paused. We've got a lot of ones in the chat. So, Queen Charlotte, without further ado, we got 18 people watching, actually. Smash that like button, please. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Yep, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Typewriter.
Yes, we got it.
Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, no, I was watching this. Yeah, now it's at the beginning.
Dramatic Murray Gold music.
Oh, there's some good music in this episode.
I know.
The remix of Amy's music. Oh, that, especially because when they play it, it just got me today watching it.
Yeah.
But it was like every statue. See, this is what I didn't like. He was starting adding this crap that now every statue is a weeping angel.
That's it. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, see, I think if you didn't have the Statue of Liberty, and it wasn't maybe every statue, maybe just a few more, I think this is a cracking episode. It's just some of the angel stuff.
Because you wouldn't know what's an angel and what's not an angel, but they make everything, every statue's an angel. So what's the point?
If they didn't state that and they just had a few that suddenly didn't look like the traditional angels, and it
would have been cracking, but you just went too far.
Rewatching this, maybe you guys feel differently when we get to them. I actually don't mind the Cupids.
Yeah,
I think maybe they would have just had the Cupids as the new, added thing. This would have gone down a lot better.
You want to see a few of the memes I sent to Melina after that of people faking slapped by statues.
Because I like this detective noir thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact it was River Song and she was writing it.
Yeah, and they
Melody Malone.
Yeah, because River, come on, you know if she was stuck in this time period, she would be a detective and she'd be running around with that outfit on.
Yeah.
They actually filmed in New York, didn't they?
Yeah, they did a lot of filming this season.
Big filming in New York. First filming in New York.
With the buildings, they look that you can tell it's not Cardiff. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because last time they just went and filmed a load of plates and stuff and background shots and did everything in Cardiff. Pretended for Daleks in Manhattan. This time they actually went and filmed in New York.
And it helps it a lot with the setting.
Yeah, certainly does.
This is a creepy whatever building they use.
Yeah, but it's the weeping angel. But it is clever. See, Moffat was good at this type of stuff. It was very clever. So, imagine using a kind of a building where you suck the time energy out of,
That's a really good evolution for the angels.
But it's just some of the other elements that he added to it, like the silliness of the. I think adding other statues and basically in the first few minutes making them weeping angel, that any statue could be a weeping angel.
Far.
But I'm trying to think. Basically, didn't the end of Blink say that without saying it? Because I'm trying to remember back to Blink, and they literally had a montage of all the different angels in London, statues in London.
Yeah, I think that was kind of to indicate that other statues were. So I suppose when he does it here, it makes sense. But I didn't like that element. I just would have preferred, because I think it kind of takes away. And then you look at what Chris Chibnall's done to them now. He did add some cool stuff to them, I will admit.
But the whole link to the division, I still don't like that.
No. I don't like the division part, but I did like them coming out the TV.
Oh yeah, that stuff was good.
And the fire stuff was a bit, even though I did think that, the paper just, there was a couple of things in flux that didn't make sense. I mean, remember when in the very first series or something, Jodie can't get the screwdriver. She does some mind joke in the screwdriver. Well, he did it with the piece of paper this time, where the piece of paper remember your man throws the piece of paper in the fire or something, and then it floats out or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Comes together to picture the angel. That was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, but another reason why I think the whole building idea works is because it's cruel, and the angels are cruel.
Yeah.
So it matches them so well.
Yeah, I like all of this stuff. I like them in this hotel and stuff. I would have loved it to kind of be confined to the hotel, but obviously it couldn't be when he was telling a bigger story. But this is the Statue of Liberty
Yeah,
now.
This was going
reveal.
too far.
Yeah.
Way too far. This is Chibnall. This is Hellbent
Moffat.
again. This is the ending of Hellbent, yeah.
Now I
There we
know
go.
it's kind of that New York, isn't it, in a time rift. So
Well,
I've
the
kind
way
of figured it out now. That's why people wouldn't react. But I mean, still, the Statue of Liberty it's a stupid idea. I can understand why he
it was
did it,
built.
but I can understand why he did actually do it because the Statue of Liberty is so iconic. So to have it in a Doctor Who episode doing that, would have looked impressive to him. But it didn't necessarily have to happen. But this is written by Stephen Moffat, so any of the flaws are all him. But I love these music choices.
Yeah.
It's another heaven sent choice, isn't it?
Because I love
you can see the difference in the title sequence.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm an illegal alien. Love that song. I love the Police. Isn't there, if I'm correct in saying, isn't there a Doctor Who cafe or something in New York?
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah, I think so.
In London somewhere.
Because when they were filming, I think wasn't there a couple of photographs taken by fans outside, and they were actually in it, and they were photographed drinking something in the place.
I know there's one in UK. I know there was one in London somewhere. Friend of a friend runs it.
Yeah, I didn't like the Statue of Liberty moment in Ghostbusters, though. I thought that was ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Actually, that's even when we were doing that watch along, I brought that up. I didn't like that. I did like the Titanic stuff and all of that other stuff, but the Statue of Liberty. But while the song and all they were playing in the background, you can't help but love it, though.
Oh, and just then, that's a perfect example of the Doctor being alien. Him just saying, "No, you've got wrinkles," without clicking. He's calling her old, and it's just a lovely little moment.
Yeah.
That's how you do
Actually,
the Doctor being alien.
Essex House. It looks like the house in Ghostbusters, the first original Ghostbusters film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it actually is.
Could be.
Probably is.
Could be that
building. That area.
I wouldn't be surprised if Moffat did something like that.
Yeah.
Because, he's a sci-fi geek. And it wouldn't surprise me if he was a Ghostbusters fan.
Oh, he probably is.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Stephen Moffat, Sony came to Stephen Moffat and said, "Listen, we'd like you to do a Ghostbusters movie." Imagine a Stephen Moffat Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy, but it'd be full of his usual traits, though.
And just then he's ripped the page, so that's set up for the ending.
Yep.
So a couple of YouTubers are behind on the old Mark Gatiss. So lots of Twitter accounts are breaking that apparently he's coming back to write with RTD.
Yeah, because we didn't all guess that before he told us in the interview.
That's what I mean. Look, these people are lucky as they're behind. Well, we're months ahead of us, right? As soon as RTD was announced, this was all spoke about. At the end of the day, right? It's not a rumor, right?
Of course, he'll be back.
Right, it's not a rumor. Never was a rumor.
Well.
It was a fan speculation. We spoke about it on this channel as well. It makes logical sense that he comes back and writes for RTD. I would even go as far as to say, not that I think it will happen, but it could happen. Remember, Stephen Moffat wrote his best stuff under RTD. So I wouldn't be surprised if he asked Stephen Moffat to come back and write an episode for him, because they work well together.
Here's my prediction: Series 14, Gatiss will have an episode.
He definitely will. He done the Unquiet Dead. Do you remember that episode? That was him. He
Yeah,
done
that's
the
what I mean.
Unquiet Dead.
He'll get a slot.
He'll get an episode. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's the third or fourth episode, just like it was in the first time round. The Unquiet Dead is a great episode. As Lee calls it, it's an unofficial Christmas episode as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
And I'd agree because it is set at Christmas time in Cardiff.
See, this is a really Moffat-y idea, the book, but it works really well. That they're
Yeah.
reading the book, and
It does.
that's how they're matching with Rory, because it's River writing it. That's such a Moffat trope, but it works.
Yeah, see, Toby Whithouse as well are in the
Yeah.
mix.
They'll all be
Yeah,
back.
of course, man. He's gonna look at
Get a team back
it.
together.
Makes logical sense to go back to the people that originally wrote the show with him and bring in some new writers as well, right? It makes sense because why would he okay, he has his creative team at Bad Wolf Productions, right? But most of them worked on Doctor Who anyway, and they've been creating some. Telling you, man, we're in for something really amazing. Hopefully RTD can win those fans over because I want this show to be a success, but I want it done the right way. And if anybody can do it, it's him and whatever team he brings on board. And he probably, I'm not saying Murray Gold will come back, but you probably look at him or you look at someone else, but you look at someone he's worked with. That's the thing. RTD always goes to people that he trusts. Oh, here's the grave, yeah.
And it's a bit like, because even at this point, Amy's like, "Why a graveyard?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I really think about it, Amy. Why a graveyard?"
Dr. Light's graveyards. Weird places. Public parks or graveyards.
That's what I mean. Amy even asked the question there, and he says it's probably linked in some way, right? So already you're getting the setup. See, this is Stephen Moffat at his best.
Yeah.
Now
Now she's read the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here you can also start to see the anger because you get
Yeah.
a very angry 11th Doctor in this episode, and you're starting to see it now. He's like, "No, now you've said it, I have to do it."
Yeah.
And you're starting to get that frustration, that anger that just boils over at the end.
Yeah.
See, time can be rewritten, but not once you read it, right? And I thought that was a very clever line there, because it fixes it in time, but it's a clever way of putting it.
Yeah, and it also explains why sometimes, even though we've been told things are fixed in the past, they have been changed.
Yeah, fixed moments in time.
Yeah, and some moments in time are in flux.
Yeah, and it's absolutely great because you can actually believe that Matt Smith is really actually the Doctor because he fits the role perfectly in this one. And it's like a major throwback to William Hartnell.
I forgot how good River is in this episode.
Yeah.
No, River was still kind of.
She's sexy. She knows it. She's flirty. Like this is the River I like.
Yeah, River was still an interesting character at this point, actually.
Yeah, and the scene when you start to see her heartbreak, and I love this when we get to it. I'll talk about it more. The whole thing about don't let him see you get old. I think that's a lovely line when she says that.
Oh, here we go.
See, I think these are creepy. I think maybe if we would have just had these things as the new addition, people would have been okay.
It reminds me of the same sound that they used in that
Night Terrors.
Night Terrors episode.
See, it makes me think more of like Gremlins, that sort of laugh.
Yeah.
Whereas Night Terrors, it was like a child. Whereas this sounds like a very, almost like a gremlin, high-pitched creature laugh.
Oh,
It's like Dalek.
I was going to say, this is very Dalek.
Dalek 2.0.
Yeah.
But the difference is the Dalek was screaming, but there's no other Daleks for it to come to rescue it.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
with this, it has. That's basically what's happening. All the angels are coming to get this one out.
Yeah.
See, this is some good scenes because this is the good use of the idea of the dark with the angels.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do this thing with a big, tall one. It would have to be something very small that you could only really do this idea with.
Daniel says someone's audio's coming through. Yeah, I've heard that myself.
I just checked. I could hear it. My iPad's on mute.
What you hear's off. Shouldn't be coming through.
Mine's off. Yeah, I still can hear audio bleeding through.
Well, I don't think we're talking a lot, so I don't think it shouldn't be, but YouTube can be pricks about it. But...
Well, it's not any dialogue. It's just, I think it's more just now and again like a high beep or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think they're more picky if dialogue gets picked up.
I think it's because the kind of music, the tones in the music, Murray Gold, it kind of, and the way the volume of the music sound is.
It's one of those Matt Smith moments.
Yeah.
Just wait till my husband gets it. That's what I mean. This is River having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before she became a man-hating feminist.
Yeah.
Whenever she did talk to the doctor, it was to demean him or to have a go at him.
I love the way the doctor that was checking his space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just obvious the doctor is a man.
Yeah, but you can see now there's actual affection there. He's actually really does love River, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he gets so angry with her for getting herself into this situation, because he actually gets angry with her here.
Oh yeah.
When he realizes.
Well, he's not angry right now. He's angry when he looks at the chapters. And then, because then he knows if River does break, like in the story, then the rest of it's going to happen. So he knows Amy's going to go at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, Moffat actually carried something across from last series.
Wow. Took him long enough.
Such amazing the chemistry between Matt Smith and Alex Kingston.
Oh, yeah, because at first I never bought those two. And now at this point, I remember at first time watching it, I was starting to buy them actually as a couple.
Yeah. Last time you see them together, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, no, there is some smugness to Daku, but it's not at the levels it got in Capaldi's run. It was insufferable in Capaldi's run, River, when it came to smugness.
But that was very good. Chapter titles. You can always look at the chapters.
Yeah, and this is how you can also tell this is written by a writer.
Right.
Because now he's seen the titles. This
Ah,
is when he gets angry.
and it's very much he's channeling the anger of Patrick Trout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say he's not angry at River yet.
Yeah.
He's angry at the situation. He gets
Yeah.
angry when
Yeah.
she lies to him.
Exactly. Yeah. Where when he goes to grab her hand
Yeah.
and then he realizes that her wrist is broken. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think, especially Matt's doctor, the thing that I think his incarnation hates, there's quite a few, but one of the things he hates is false hope. And I
Yeah.
think in that moment he was like, why'd you give me that hope? I'd rather you just told me, then at least I knew.
Yeah.
Because that's always the fault of 11. He gets hope. He thinks he can win. He thinks he can save people, but some of the times he can't.
Yeah.
See, there he thought he had hope because she got
Yeah.
out. And then that's why he gets angry because then yeah. It's very cleverly written. Rory, you idiot, why did you go in?
Maybe the angels put like something on the place to tempt people, and you never know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because look at him. He's ecstatic.
Oh
Look at
dear.
his face. His face says it all.
Yep. And it's just like he can't
Well, look,
stand
now
that.
this is the moment. Before it, you've not fully seen it yet. You start to see it there, but it's the next scene when he does explode. Then it was just a moment of realization, not the anger. The anger's here.
Why did you lie to me?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slap.
Yeah.
It's funny that.
His face.
Yeah. Hasn't
Oh.
got any left though.
Oh, you just upset Amy now. You've upset our daughter. That's
He hasn't
weird
got
to
any
say.
regenerations left.
Like, what are you doing, mate?
Moffat, he ain't got any regenerations left though.
I think she objected Sadako because she knows how important he is to the universe, and she doesn't want them wasting his regeneration energy.
Well, I think
He
as
ain't
well,
got
if
any
you think
left though.
about it, it's not like she had a broken leg.
Yeah, exactly.
She could carry on quite happily and get it fixed naturally. it was the fact that he used regeneration energy for something as simple to her as a broken wrist.
Exactly.
I mean, it undoes Let's Kill Hitler, that scene where she gives him all her regeneration energy to make him survive.
Yeah.
And the whole thing gets undone in Day of the Doctor
Yeah.
anyway. This is the last regeneration.
But still, I can understand her objection.
I can.
And it's like him returning his the favor.
Exactly, but she doesn't want it because she knows how important he is. If they're going to get out of this mess, he's the one person that she can always rely on.
Yep.
And the universe. Except if you're Jodie Whittaker's doctor, then you just let the universe burn and you commit genocide at the same time, or you watch as two races are genocide.
By Gormek form, I'll just commit some genocide today. I'm stunning and brave, I am.
Oh, I can tell. All I'm thinking about is my precious Yaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the flux, you were responsible for that. So you're responsible for all those planets and all those people being genocided.
Yeah.
Maybe
Flux
that's why
the galactic cancer that she is.
Like if the Daleks had said, we're holding you responsible for all the Daleks and all the other races you genocide, I could have understood Eve of the Daleks a little bit better.
Yeah.
But the fact that
I hope they find out at the end that she was the flux. It's like Jodie was the flux.
Yeah, it was Jodie's.
It was her. She was the flux. She turned into the
flux.
Flux
did look a little like Matt Smith's thing when we went into the big TARDIS and we seen the light soul of the TARDIS. The flux kind of looked a bit like that, different threads of memories. Maybe Jodie Whittaker's doctor somehow regenerated.
Time Legion,
yeah.
Doctor's Time Legion. The 13th
Or maybe that watch is that that fob watch that she dropped into the TARDIS console. Maybe it's causing paradoxes.
Yeah.
Because it's not really her watch.
This is it.
This is when I start to get a bit. This is the start of my eyes starting to go a bit teary.
This is what Moffat is so good at, though. This emotional.
Yeah, they can't go back because they've created a paradox now.
But Amy is fully redeemed in these scenes now, in everybody's eyes, because there was still a lot of people that didn't like the way she treated Rory, and I was one of them. But this makes up for it all because she makes the right decision. I knew she'd make it anyway because you could tell she did love Rory. It's just, I don't know, maybe she was scared or something, or.
I see it now as the Doctor was something fantastical and interesting, and she was young.
Yeah. And it helped her grow and mature as well, though.
Yeah, once she settled, she realised Rory's the actual love. The Doctor's fantasy. Yeah. That's good in a short.
And anybody that waits 2,000 years for you, though, deserves to be given a chance anyway, in my opinion. You're
going to get commitment, don't you? So that's the main thing.
Oh, just a minute. That Statue of Liberty at the beginning was probably the book.
There, time energy. So it's a good, It's like a time energy factory, this whole time.
Yeah, they say a battery farm. Like I said, and that suits the Angels. It's cruel, it's effective, it's vindictive.
That's what I mean. He created the Weeping Angels were one of the best things he created, I have to say. I just wish they hadn't have ruined them as much as they did, because they could have been the future. I think the Weeping Angels are good. I'm not sick of the Weeping Angels. I was actually delighted when I did see a Weeping Angel in that leaked photograph, like we all did, and I thought, lovely.
Yeah, but in the back of my head,
it was a good episode.
In the back of my head, I was like, Chibble, you're going to do something stupid, aren't you? And you did.
Yeah, we always thought it's stupid.
He didn't completely ruin
good
them.
Ending, though.
That was the saving grace. The story was just poor, but he didn't ruin them.
Yeah, but he did retcon them a bit, and I just didn't like that.
Yeah,
whole part.
the division thing.
Best
I
ending of an
agree with
episode,
you.
though.
I'll always be with you on that one. Anyway,
That's
me and
crap
you were
division,
actually quite outspoken about that episode.
Yeah,
I
we
remember we were, and we were right because it did ruin the Lord of Weeping Angels, and I don't like that they're working for someone else. No way, man, get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It'd be
also
funny if
that
the Doctor turned out to be the Master. That would be great.
oh yeah, or the fact that literally
Maybe
can
that
turn
fob
him-
watch. I wouldn't be surprised if he does this switcheroo, right?
Yeah.
So Sasha
Yeah.
Dewan is going to turn up. She opens the fob watch, but instead of the regeneration energy or the energy going into her, it goes into Sasha Dewan's
Yeah.
so-called master, and then it turns out then that actually Sasha is the Doctor.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
he'll do that. I just think she'll open
Yeah,
it.
it turns out
and-
she's the Master, and Dr. Ruth is the real
That's
Doctor.
it, probably, or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
she's actually the
could be.
well, yeah,
Master.
but we know there'll be something now because if he was just going to use it for a simple flashback, she would have
Yeah.
opened it in that episode. The fact that he's hanging on to
Yeah.
that.
Right,
fob
this
watch-
is
She's
it
a post-Missy
now.
Master or something. She's trying to turn over a new leaf. And it
So
went
he's
horribly wrong.
basically told Rory, you're going to be running for the rest of your life, and they've
Yeah.
made the choice.
Well, Amy did. I remember we talked over it,
Yeah.
but when he goes, he's got me.
Yeah.
That's Amy fully saying,
But
Rory.
then Rory then figures out it's not going to work, and that's why he decides to jump the roof. I think the moment between them on the roof is just...
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then when they decide to jump together, it's so bleeding sad. But the graveyard scene is even more heartbreaking, in my opinion. But look at that. Weeping Statue of Liberty. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
it's a bit
not
kind of
every-
extreme.
It was
that.
all
Not
right at the
everything-
beginning because it was in the book, but at the end it's stupid.
Yeah, but not everything in the Moffat, the RTD era is perfect either. But at least
Yeah.
the stories, like this is not like there was stupid
Yeah.
elements in this, but the writing's fantastic and the acting
Yeah.
is. So I
Yeah.
can't fault the story itself. Like the story right now is definitely is 8 or 9 right now for me.
Yeah.
I can dismiss
Yeah, it's a
the
good story.
stupid. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a great story. I just don't like these stupid elements here.
Far-fetched moments. Yeah, it's a bit of a play on Dalek, and it's got the Statue of Liberty.
Right,
But
here we go.
He's saying this is stronger than he remembers. Yeah, I think that's the shame. This episode, I think, has been overlooked a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
underrated. Very
It's
underrated.
actually better than I actually
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if it didn't have literally, if you take out the Statue of Liberty, I think
That's-
this would have been considered as one of the best Moffat stories.
I agree. Even though I don't like the
Yeah.
weeping babies and there's every statue is a weeping angel part.
Yeah.
You do take out the Statue of Liberty for me. It does, but this scene, the music is just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Amy's theme, isn't it? Like a remix of it. Oh no, is that when they're falling? It's Amy's theme, isn't it?
But this is the thing. Rory thinks that she would be willing to push
All or
him,
nothing. Yeah.
but she's not.
You'll create a paradox, Rory.
See,
Arthur's acting so well, Arthur, in this moment.
I knew Amy wouldn't do it. I knew Amy wouldn't do it. There's no way Amy would do it.
No, Rory, she'd always put Rory first.
Yeah. See, he puts her first, but I'm doing this to save you. And that's what Rory would do. He'd literally put his life on the line to save the love of his life. And then that's why she's crying now, because she's decided, well,
We're going to go together.
we're going to go together. And that's it, yeah.
My
And
God,
this-
this is well done. I just
Yeah.
don't understand how Stephen Moffat didn't win an award for this, did he?
I don't know, but he should have
Done.
done. I'm actually really...
What a Hugo for something.
No, I'm really impressed with this. I wasn't at the time, like Sadako.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it was a bit of an anticlimax at the time.
But this, the Doctor, this is, and even at the graveyard, but
I don't think it was the greatest half of the season. I think that's what the problem was. I found with this season.
Oh,
All or Nothing.
Oh,
one of the most actually iconic scenes in this episode is that fall. That's meme to bits. Better than I remember. Yeah, Daniel. This
yeah.
look, but that's the thing. That's why I've wanted to watch the Stephen Moffat era again, because you know episodes like this do kind of remind you what we lost under Moffat. Yeah, we had our problems with Moffat. Not everybody liked what he done, but episodes like this just highlighted his talent. And when he got it right, he got it absolutely right. When he got it wrong, it wasn't spectacularly wrong. He just some of these plot holes. Now I know he did by the end explain most of them as best he could, but he left
Yeah.
himself a mountain of work. But at least he tried to explain. But these episodes are show his talent. But this is heartbreaking now.
See, look at his face there when he said I could have
Yeah,
lost.
he seems to be quite
Best editing
relieved
was,
at this point.
Best special effects they won for 2013, 2014.
It's like the Doctor sees them as his children, basically. At this point, it's family. It's something that he's never really had.
With Amy and Rory, it was a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was different because we'd had romance with Russell, we had a best mate thing with Donna, but we didn't have family with Russell.
If Rory had just kept walking,
yeah,
yeah,
but he decides to.
See, I think the angels are because he purposely just looked. Then he purposely looked at this one grave.
No, I didn't win anything from 20. They went from 2010 to about 2013. Didn't win any awards. It was 2014.
Yeah, and I think it's brilliant how
special effects.
It is when Bobby does go. Like, there's no preamble. It's just right. You're gone. Angel's got you.
Yeah.
And like now, it's pointing at Amy.
When he says Amelia, there's. But he can't. This time he actually can't.
And then when he realizes there's no way out, I mean, it really breaks him.
River knows, though.
I did feel sorry for the Doctor here. This to lose a companion like this, or two of them anyway, is you know what I mean. But Amelia, the Force face, that's what makes when she comes back and does the Raggedy Man. I actually can't hold it together. I'll admit, as a grown man, I cry every time.
Yeah.
Don't care what anybody. That when she walks down those stairs, she touches his face and says, "Raggedy Man, I'm gone. I'm gone."
Oh, this version of the Doctor's thing.
I mean, there's more emotion from Matt's Doctor than there is from Peter Davison's when Adric died.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, look at him. He's looking around. He's like looking at.
Yeah.
He really doesn't know what to do.
Raggedy Man
doesn't want her to go, does he?
No, he really doesn't.
No.
Raggedy Man, goodbye. That just.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, it's the forward. I literally have to stop watching this today. Right at the end, because I was like, I'm going to cry and I'm going to be in bits.
He's devastated. Look at him.
Yeah.
And his loving wife, Amelia Williams.
But have you noticed he's not quite crying? He's just keeping it in, but you can see how devastated he is.
Yeah.
He's apologising to River. Even River knows, even after he's lost those two, right? And he wants to go off probably on his own. She knows that he's not best when he's on his own. He needs someone there. He needs to keep moving on. Because as soon as the Doctor starts sitting back like he did in the Snowman episode, starts thinking about stuff, it doesn't do him any good.
Yeah.
Well, we can see that in right through the entire series that the Doctor needs a companion.
I
He
did
needs
like
someone
this part.
to kind of stop him, and even Donna Noble said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did love this part though, that Amy got a chance to speak to the Doctor one last time in the afterward, the last page. Because remember,
He always tore the page out.
ripped out the last page for spoilers. Stop, man! I'm teary-eyed here, says Daniel. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
See,
a wee bit teary-eyed myself.
This makes it.
God, I forgot this little one.
This makes you realise what we've lost, and it's not a nice feeling, I have to say.
No.
But
Even it feels like the show's lost as well.
But it'll find its way again. I truly do believe it.
I hope it does.
Same here.
Honestly, I can understand Bolstrip being a bit pissed off of it.
No, I agree with him. I agree. I
Yeah.
just have decided that I am going to give it a chance because I want the show to succeed. I really do. And I know he does. It's just what it's done to him.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I really don't, because I felt like that myself. So, I understand. He actually represents what a lot of fans out there are feeling right now. And that's the job that RTD has. I told you. I said this when we first covered he was back when the announcement was made. I told you that it wasn't just the show that he had to get right. He has a job to win over these fans.
Yeah.
Well, it's not win over, it's to win back.
Win back, I should say, these fans. And yeah, he has an uphill struggle. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully RTD can light the fire under these people again, and hopefully they can get that passion back for the show.
I'll give him a season and a half. If it's not good over a season and a half, I'm gone, I'm afraid. But
yeah.
Right, well, and a half.
Let's get into this Moffat episode anyway. So we'll start with you anyway, PD Rich, as you've been talking. So we'll just what would you rate this, and what did you think of the story?
I'd give this one an 8. It's a very, very good story. It's a good companion ending. It's a very emotional one. But as I said, it's a Statue of Liberty thing. It's a kind of the throwbacks to Dalek, and it's everything can be a weeping angel. It kind of ruins it a bit for me. But it's still a good story. It's a good ending of a half season. I think it was a very poor season, half season. I didn't think it was the greatest. I didn't think this half season was great. I think I'm more psyched for the next one, even though it's got Clara in it.
Yeah, it does get a little bit better actually. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 actually out of 10. Like PD, I have the little niggles,
Yeah.
but
Just niggles.
that said, the writing is superb, the
Yeah.
acting, and it is a
Yeah.
nice ending for those two, especially. And it is a heartbreaking and an emotional one, actually.
Yeah.
So,
And
well
unlike
done.
Tris Chibnall, he didn't rip off 3001 the Final Odyssey, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, last week. Oh,
Well, fair play
dear
to
God.
Moffat. He did produce there, but I will say this: at the time this was aired, I wasn't really a huge fan. But watching it back again, have to agree with some of the panel there. This is seriously an underrated
Yeah.
story. You
Yeah.
take out some of those elements, I think you get a better story because it's more compact. But that said, it was a lot better than I remember back in the day. So yeah, I think 8.5 is fair enough. Queen Charlotte.
Yeah, just I'll agree with the negatives very quickly. The Statue of Liberty, I think I'm not as I don't think the idea of every statue being an angel is as bad as you guys, but I agree it does make it not as scary to watch with that idea in mind. But I don't hate it as much of a concept. But I just think when you get past all that stuff, as an Amy 11th Doctor and Rory story, and River, because she's got a big part to play in this, what I love about this is this feels like the end of a long journey for quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because with Amy, you see her relationship with Rory, and considering literally, if you think about an 11th hour, she didn't even want to admit they were boyfriend girlfriend, and he was very much seen as this sort of laughable sidekick type of character. And now you're seeing her devotion to him, that she's literally willing to be taken by an angel just with that chance, because you got, like the doctor said, I can't guarantee you'll go back to him. So she could have stranded herself in any time in the past by herself. There was nothing saying that she was going to be with Rory, but it was that chance that she'd get, and she was willing to take it. So I think as a journey of Amy with her relationship with Rory and her issues in the past that she's had, you're now fully seeing those go and her love. Rory, you sort of see him, what he's willing to do. That he said he's willing to jump on that roof. He was willing to do anything just to save Amy, and we've seen that before, but it's sort of just shown even more how devoted he is. So, and I think to have in media as well, that idea of a marriage and it showing how a marriage is full of love and full of devotion, it's such a lovely thing to see. Because usually on television, marriages aren't portrayed positively.
Yeah, well, they do have that little thing where they do split up because she can't, but then we find out the reason why she split up with him was because she couldn't give him kids anymore, and that. So again, yeah, she wanted to save. So again, that was done out of love. But you are right; it was a very this relationship. You know, it started off a bit dodgy at first, as you said, where she wouldn't even acknowledge that they were together. To when you get to that final scene. And you just see the devotion between the two of them. And like twice, she's willing to jump off the building with him. And then, as you said, being taken by the weeping angel, not knowing that she's actually going to be there, she does ask the question. He said, and River, I think, is the one that says, "Yeah, it will take you there."
The doctor doesn't know, though, so it's not like and she was asking the doctor in that moment, and he was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, but I think River did actually say, yeah, it does. It does. I think she was shouting in the background, it does,
Yeah,
mother, or something like that.
Obviously, we didn't know as the audience, and she didn't know 100%.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the sacrifices they made for each other, you're absolutely right, but it was a very devoted relationship.
Yeah, and obviously with 11, you see a doctor losing a companion, which is always very emotional.
Yeah.
But I think for this one, it hits really hard for 11 because he thinks he's won. He thinks he's got out. He thinks he's defeated all the angels. And that moment he had of I'm going to lose them, he freaked out, and then he's like, nope, it's fine, we've saved the day. And I know it can come across a bit abrupt the way the angel took Rory, but I think that's needed because of what it does to the Doctor almost. That he has that, like I said, he hates false hope. And it wasn't even false hope. By all intensive purposes, they had got out. But it was just one rogue angel that just got him in a blink. And that's what angels do. So I think it works really well. And the whole thing of the not lying to him stuff you see, and him with River. And I think once again with River, she's always at her best when she's talking about the pain almost of being with the Doctor. That whole thing about don't show yourself getting old. He hates that, and he doesn't like endings. So her sort of saying that, like I said, her theme almost of a marriage. You've got the theme of marriage of Amy and Rory, then you've got the theme of the marriage of her and the Doctor. And she's sort of saying how it's such a hard thing to do on her end, and you really feel sympathy for her. And she gets angry with him, but she's very loving as well. So you see different sides to her. And like I said, I like River when she's like this. So yeah, I'd give this a 9 because I think the character stuff and the overall, if like to take away the stupidness, the hotel works well with the angels. I like that. I like the cherubs because okay, you might think, oh, baby weeping angels, but if they're a race, they would have young, and cherubs make sense and they're creepy. So I think they work in this. So yeah, I'll give this a 9.
Fantastic. Real Super Doctor.
I think this is one of Stephen Moffat's best. As a part of that, and it does fall into that. I think that it is a good kind of send off to Amy and Rory, but it's quite devastating for the Doctor because and it's devastating for them too because they had been through such a lot when they started off with the Doctor and that, and it just shows you that this is them. They've came through so much to get to this point, and in the end, Amy decides it's probably for the best in that. But it really does break the Doctor, and you can see that in Matt Smith's performance, which is quite good. It shows that there is that emotional side to the Doctor that that even though he's thousands of years old, that he can actually display emotion in that, and realize that the amount of years that he's been traveling with all those companions and all those companions that he's lost. He takes on this kind of sort of baggage, and it does show you that even this amount of experiences he's been through with his companions, that he can actually break, that there's a human side to the Doctor, and that you can see that in most of Matt Smith's performances anyway. But yeah, I think that it was certainly ambitious to go to New York and do a lot of filming in New York and getting some sights and that, but the fact that the Statue of Liberty was a weeping angel kind of ruins it a wee bit. Ruins the fact that the uniqueness of the weeping angels, because the weeping angels were depicted as just one identifiable statue. But I like the fact that time, how time can be rewritten in that, and the Doctor knows in the past that how much damage to the timelines it actually kind of causes in that, and he realizes that at the end that he couldn't go back and save them because that was just it, because the timeline was a complete mess. What actually was happening, but that final scene with with River explaining to him that he shouldn't travel alone, he shouldn't be alone, and it was like a kind of great throwback to his encounter with Donna Noble and the Runaway Bride and that, and the Doctor cannot be alone. He just can't, because what happens to the Doctor? He goes into this deep, dark depression that he becomes almost like the Master in some
Yeah, he
ways.
becomes
Like,
his worst self, doesn't he? Really?
yeah, and it also becomes like it becomes darker and darker as well. And the point that the Doctor can become like, as we've seen with David Tennant's Doctor, the Time Lord Victorious and that. But but the other story that's coming along is the Christmas special, but I think we're going to skip that.
Yeah, we're kind of far over it.
I think it's quite interesting that what happens with Clara later on and that, and like he he snaps out of it and that, and he gets with his adventures again, and likes taking people with him again, and it's quite a nice thing. So I would give it a 9 out of 10. This.
Fantastic. Yeah, we've had people in the chat there as well give their scores as well. We got a couple of 8 out of 10s in the chat as well. I think we had a 6 out of 10 there as well. A couple of 9s, a couple of 8.5s as well. So yeah, a lot of people have also commented that this episode is better than they remember as well. So, again, this is the Chris Chibnall effect, I call it. Because the show has been so dire, when you retrospectively look back at what we've gotten, some of the episodes that may not have been fan favorites, then all of a sudden, when you watch again after what you've experienced over the last 5 years, I think that does improve the episode a lot. But in saying that, this one in particular, I will say, the writing is a lot better than I thought back then.
Yeah.
And that's the surprising thing. It's nice when we watch some of these episodes, and we do. I am getting a lot of reaction like that from some of the Stephen Moffat episodes. And in some places, I can kind of understand what he was trying to do. And he may not have pulled it off all the time. But, you know what they say, God loves a trier. And he certainly did try.
Yeah.
He had
I think
ambition.
that's what I mean. He had ambition as well. It mightn't have always succeeded, but it's at least he had that ambition. The current showrunner has zero fucking ambition, because he's proved that time and time again. But look, I don't want to get into a big rant about bleeding him again. We'll just leave it there. Anyway, so I'll get everybody to do their channel shout outs, and then we will leave it there. And as I said, I'll have a couple of videos because there's things to discuss. Obviously, I want to do that Danny Dyer one because that would be funny to poke fun at. Also, I want to talk about that tweet from that absolute twat that put it out and says that the Root Doctor had more character development than the William Hartnell's Doctor. Like, I mean,
he had 3 minutes. He had 3 seasons.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
4 seasons, I think.
basically rip the piss out of that as well. I'll cover their name to save them from embarrassment. But I'm gonna read it out and show it to you actually on screen, and then I'll show you the follow up as well, where literally he doubled down. So if it was a joke, you only would have needed one tweet. You don't double down on the very first tweet that you and try and explain why you think that the other Doctor had more character development than William Hartnell. If it was only a joke, you wouldn't go through that effort. So yeah, the fact that they tried to make it out, and that's the go-to line, by the way. Everybody will tell you that's on Twitter. Every time these people get called out for their ridiculous tweets, right? When they say Jodie is better than Tom Baker, and they do get called out for it, and of course we're going to call them out for it because it's absolutely nonsense coming out of their mouths.
Yeah, because they always go for like the most beloved. Like if you were to say on Twitter, yeah, call him like pick a doctor that's not liked at least.
Yeah, I would say
Go with Colin Baker.
Colin Baker supports obviously this era, so I think he's all right with the fans. They don't like Peter Davison.
Yeah, because he turned on
yeah,
them.
okay, no fair. Like I like Peter Davidson's run, but he's not a beloved doctor. So at least pick a doctor that's not like bleeding Tom Baker level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what they do. So they have to be
The first four
responded back
doctors,
to.
yeah.
But then when they get called out, and then when they start getting retweeted, then because people will then retweet their ridiculous tweet, and as soon as they get some attention and people start calling them out, then they'll follow up with, "Oh, but I was only joking. I just want to explain my last tweet. I was joking, yeah, but everybody's being twatty and taking it seriously." No, mate. You put out a serious tweet, and then when you got called out for it, you decided to say it was a joke because you didn't like the fact that fans were actually giving you one because you were talking absolute nonsense, talking out your backside. Right? Listen, compared to Jodie Whittaker's doctor, right? The Root Doctor is so much better. Everybody will agree with that. Still not standard of Doctor Who. But to actually say something as idiotic as the Root Doctor actually has more character development than William Hartnell's Doctor is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? Absolute nonsense. Right? And even wording it that way, where's the joke? Where's the punchline? There's none. Because it wasn't a joke and there was no punchline because you were actually being serious. Like all of these fans, when they say Yaz is the best companion out of the whole lot of them, they get all the Whittaker bots saying thing. Jodie Whittaker's bestest ever. All of this nonsense. Sick of it, right? Number one, Jodie Whittaker isn't the best doctor. She's probably the most universally hated doctor that ever came into the show, right? Number one. Number two, every single companion that she had, even the ones that were slightly better than the other ones, every single one of them were shit. Graham, fucking Ryan, Yaz, right? Now we have Dan, right? If you put them in the Moffat or the RTD era, they wouldn't even get a job, actually. They're not good enough. That's the point, right? That's another thing. I'm sorry, this is hard for you to accept, but the ratings back all of this up, right? Okay, the fact that merchandise isn't selling backs this up.
Yeah,
right?
big one.
Where's the audience gone? They're going to be invisible for a couple of years, and then they're going to decide to watch Doctor Who. Is that what you're telling me? Right? Because TV habits have changed. You are right. But their new rating system takes everything into account, whether people watch live on the night or they watch on catch up or streaming services. It's all taken into account. So under RTD, streaming service, the whole shebang, 19 million, right? So where's the other 10 million people gone? Right? That's not TV habits change, folks. That's the quality of the show has dipped. So the audience is so.
Well, TV habits have changed. People don't watch shit anymore.
Yeah, right. Even under Moffat, right? Even under RTD can be argued that near the end of his run, bar season 4, season 3, it took a dip. It took an upturn then back in Series 4, and then we had the specials. Waters and Mars did very well. If I remember as well, the one with the planet, I keep forgetting the name of it.
The Invisible
Dead.
That one, that planet one, yeah. I don't think that did as well as Waters and Mars. So look, we're under no illusion that the ratings can fluctuate, but the thing about it is, this is what I'm trying to say. TV habits, yes, have changed. People like to binge watch shows, right? People also like to watch live on the night, and some people don't have time that the night that it's on and will watch during the week. The ratings take all of this into account, and if you look at it compared to the RTD and Moffat era, this show has failed because
if the people don't want to accept the ratings, look at the AI figure.
Exactly, that's down. But there's 10 million Doctor Who fans that were Doctor Who fans, or the general audience that are no longer around. 10 million, right? So that's not TV habits changing. That's people had enough and walked
Exactly.
away. That's what that means. This is why I've said, don't mind these clowns out there that spin these ratings anymore, because their argument is dead. They're desperate to try and prove that this era is so good.
They're trying to flog a dead horse.
They've even roped in TV Zone, and other people say, "Oh well, Doctor Who was in the top 25 shows, so it's not that bad." Right? Oh, it's in the top 25. Okay. Well, for me as a Doctor Who fan, if we're going by the past and the show's history, for me, top 20, top 25 is not good enough. Right? Doctor Who should be in the top 5, at least the top 3. So if it's finishing 21 or 23 on a list, right, out of top 25 shows, and it's down the bottom, that's not successful. That's not successful. So don't be giving me that crap. You can spin it all you want, and these newspaper articles can try hard for the BBC to spin it and make it sound like, no, it is a great show. It is doing well. It ain't doing well. It hasn't. That's why RTD is back. They actually want someone who knows what they're doing with Doctor Who to come back and actually rescue the show.
Yeah, they actually want to make money again.
And not only that, there's the first episode, right? I already can look the 60th, right? The 60th is going to smash all records that this so-called era had, right? The 60th is going to be watched by, I predict, overnights 10 million.
Oh, I think, yeah. Easy.
10, 11, right? Right? Consolidated figures, we're looking at between 14 and 15 million, I reckon. I'm not messing. This thing is going to...
If something like Line of Duty can get 20 million on like consolidated or something, I can't remember the exact figure, it got consolidated.
There you go. Well, then Doctor Who has the same opportunity to do the same thing.
Exactly.
And I do believe it can, right? Then, see this argument that they've been having for the last couple of years? I wonder how they'll spin. And I already told people how they're going to spin this. This is how they'll spin it. They'll say, right, so the rhetoric for the last few years is how successful this era will be. But they'll flip it. But this is how they'll flip it. They'll say, well, the Whittaker era failed, or the Chris Chibnall era failed because all the Doctor Who fans were sexist and racist and bigots and stuff. So that's what they'll do then. They'll
use the other one. They'll go, oh, because of COVID.
Or they'll use excuses like that. But what's COVID got to do with people sitting at home watching TV? Absolutely nothing. But they will spin it. And then at the same time, they're actually admitting that it failed. But they'll look for someone to blame, because they won't look at themselves. They should be looking at themselves, because they're the ones that supported this and egged on Chris Chibnall whenever he destroyed canon. When he thought he was adding to it, he was destroying something, and they were egging it on, right? These aren't fans. They never were fans. They don't understand the show, right? Even some of them admitted that they're only watching Classic Who now, even though they gave fans lectures about Classic Who, and they obviously didn't know what they were talking about because they never watched the stories in the first place. This is what we're dealing with in the fandom, you know? But they can't. Look, RTD is going to show up a lot. Even the first episode, even if it is a female in the role, right? And I'm not saying it is, but even if he does cast a woman in the role, right? The woman who fell to earth got 12 point whatever in the consolidated, right? 12.5 or 12.8 million, whatever it was, right? Sure. RTD will probably get that in live viewing figures, and the overnights will be, as I said, a lot higher because it's RTD. RTD's name also brings in an audience, and I think that's what people out there don't realize. Listen, he's going to show up the Whittaker numbers, even if his series is not as spectacular as we want it to be. His writing will be so sound that he's gonna he's going to show up this era for what it truly was, right? And that's when they'll come to the realization, right? Well, they already all know that they were all sold a pile of crap, right? And that the show was actually rubbish. But they won't admit it publicly. But to themselves, they're probably saying, yeah, this show is rubbish, but we can't let the not my doctors win. Because that's all they care about now, you know?
Yeah, it's spite now. It's pure honest
Yeah,
spite.
that's all it is. They know this is rubbish, but they just won't admit it publicly. You know, some will criticize some things, they said. But if you listen to some twat out there who's been criticizing this era as well, but he just hasn't been as harsh, then as soon as he gets an interview with one of the directors of the show, then he comes out with the nonsense that, oh, this series finale was one of the best series finales that I've ever seen in years. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Don't be lying. Don't be lying.
Okay, I've just had a quick look. Obviously, Line of Duty is a different type of show, but we're just talking for like a really big show that gets a lot of talk about it. Series 6, the finale, got 9.6 million viewers on the night.
Right.
And then consolidated was 15 million.
Wow.
So that's Line of Duty, folks.
Yeah.
That's what the last series did on its final episode.
So that's an extra 6 million viewers during the week that watch it, that didn't watch it on the night because they were probably out in the pub on a Saturday.
Yeah, so folks,
Sunday.
That's Line of Duty. That's not Doctor Who when it comes to cachet and name.
No, but it's you're highlighting the fact that if a show was written well, has good plot, good character development, and if you give the audience what they want, they will watch. That's
that you can get. They nearly got, if you round up, nearly got 10 million on the night, and then they got, like you said, that's a massive uptake of. It gets 50 million viewers on catch up.
That's what I mean. Doctor Who has no excuse. I always said that Doctor Who needs to be getting those numbers and can get those numbers if it's written well. Bringing RTD back to me is why it's a masterstroke, because he hit the ground running the last time. And I actually have my suspicions that he's going to do the same thing again. I don't know what it is. But I'm being honest. You know, I think the future can be bright for Doctor Who. I just hope he can pull this fandom together.
Doctor Who, the classic era went through peaks and troughs. We had some really bad series. We had some really good series. It's just
look. He created some ridiculous things as well. I mean, for example, we did have the pig in the spacesuit in Aliens of London. I mean, even the fucking, those fucking Slovene, I can never say it right. They're fucking ridiculous design, right? He has done some ridiculous. The story has been good. You know, that's the thing about that two-part. The story is actually very good. Love of Monsters is a good story, even though it's silly.
Yeah.
You know,
Chloe Webber one as well.
No, I don't like that now. I actually can't stand that episode, and I still can't. And I don't like the one with the Queen and the coronation episode.
Oh, the Idiot Phantom.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, your woman annoys me. Your woman that's on screen.
Oh, the Feed Me.
Yeah, Feed Me. That annoys me.
Warren Lipman, yeah.
But the story itself is great. But I just don't like her. She actually throws me completely off.
Yeah,
but in the first few,
she's fighting with Helen Mirren at the moment.
But the first few minutes of that episode, I remember watching, and Rose had already figured it out in the first couple of minutes when she noticed all the aerials and said not everybody had a TV back then. She knew there was something up straight away. She'd figured it out that there was something about the TVs. So I the good writing, just some things in it that bring it down for me, and that Feed Me nonsense fucking annoyed me. And she was just annoying. She's a good actress actually, but yeah, I just didn't like her in this. I have to be honest. And yeah, I didn't like the fact that she killed Magpie. You know, poor Mr. Magpie. She didn't need to kill Magpie, but she did. So
Yeah, because she was a horrible, vindictive alien.
I know she was, but like still, it made it even more annoying that she was annoying in the episode. So like, yeah. So look, RTD hasn't always been perfect, but does the good outweigh the bad? Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But this is an RTD that has went away from Doctor Who, has probably been writing and had ideas in his head for a long time, but has gone off and done other stuff and won awards because his writing is just, as I said, he's probably one of the best, or is the best British writer out there at the moment. We're getting him at a good time. They never had to come back to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He could have went and done something else and it'd be a hit. But he's decided to come back. And the fact is, right, this might have went over a lot of fans' heads on my Twitter account somewhere, but I'm going to retweet it because fans need to remember something very important here. So there was a news article that was written about RTD coming back to save Doctor Who. And the Bad Wolf Productions page on Twitter actually retweeted it. So that tells you everything you need to know. They even know, and that's Bad Wolf. That's connected to
Yeah.
the Bad Wolf Productions, that Twitter account. And they even acknowledged by even retweeting it because the article actually says, the headline of the article, RTD back to save Doctor Who. And they retweeted that.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't say anything, but the fact that they retweeted that tells you exactly what I've been telling you on this channel. Gorminator's even come on and spoke about as well. This is a full-blown rescue mission. RTD is back to save Doctor Who because it needs saving. And any fan out there that's still in denial, fair enough, be in denial all you want. RTD is going to show you what truly good, great Doctor Who looks like. And then maybe when you do look back at the Chibnall Whittaker era, yourselves, you'll see all the things that we were actually talking about, and maybe you will come to your senses. I hope you get that moment because, you
I
know,
think we will. I think once we get fully into RTD's new era, and the 60th is important, but that's going to just be nostalgia.
yeah.
I'm talking about once we get into series 14.
That's the important one for me.
That's when I think you'll see a lot of people who are suddenly going to become a lot more critical of current era.
Yeah.
Because it'll be safe then to criticise it.
Exactly. And, you know, yeah, it'll be interesting. Did we do the channel shout-outs already?
No, we're going to.
No. Right, so that's what we're going to do now because I'm going to leave because Cheryl wants to watch The Masked Singer. So she's in the bedroom right now waiting for me to finish. So Ted, because the mic picks up everything. I've also to put on some lovely chicken nuggets that we got because we're going to have some chicken baguettes. And we got some other stuff. I'm going to cook some mushrooms up as well and other I'm going to throw all nasty shit on my raw. Cheryl, Cheryl does some weird things. Has anybody tried this before? Because I need to ask because this to me is truly disgusting. So, does anybody here like barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all like a little bit of barbecue sauce, as you do.
Yeah, I hate it, but carry on.
Right, okay. But do you like mayonnaise, Charlotte?
Oh, I love mayonnaise.
Right, so imagine doing this. So Cheryl decided, I don't know what she was eating, but she wanted some barbecue sauce. So see, I pour barbecue sauce into this little glass thing that she was going to mix it in. Then next of all, I see her pick up the mayonnaise.
Oh, did you mix it?
And then she threw some mayonnaise in on top of it.
No, you do that with ketchup, not barbecue
And then,
sauce. To make
yeah, I
Mary
know,
Rose sauce.
yeah, and she says it's a creamy barbecue sauce. And I just looked at her. I'm being honest, lads, the face of she even said, yeah, I was disgusted. Like,
Let's do it with brown sauce.
with red sauce, yeah, everybody does it with red sauce. It makes sense to do it with red sauce. But with barbecue sauce, I was like, oh no.
Really?
Seriously, man. Seriously. And you know the special salt that she was using that had all the different things in it that she used to use because she eats a lot of vegan stuff, so she has to kind of, you know, because
Spice
vegan
it up.
stuff's very bland, so she has to spice it up. Well, she realized after all of this time, I could have told her, like, well, I did actually tell her, but like the salt that she was using, there was stuff in it that she was allergic to. So every time she was eating it, because she used to like put loads of this stuff on, right? She'd always end up with a bit of a breakout because she got a bit of a reaction. Then she'd feel all sick and stuff. And it was only when she looked at the label and read stuff that was in it, she realised that she shouldn't have been even eating it.
Oh dear.
Oh,
And I
Cheryl.
told her in Ireland, you have to look at labels because in Ireland and in Europe, we like putting onion, garlic, and shit
Oh
into
God,
everything.
yeah, you do, and I
That's the
hate
thing.
onions.
That's the thing. Yeah, you hate onion. Like she doesn't hate onion or garlic. She's just allergic to it. So that's sick because she loves it. Like she literally loves it. Because anytime I'm cooking with garlic, or oh, that's lovely. I wish I could eat that, but it literally kill her. Like
Yeah.
so. That's the bad thing for her because she actually likes onions and garlic. It was only later on she got an allergic reaction to them. She used to be able to eat them as a kid, apparently, which is weird.
Yeah, but your body changes when you get older. So I've heard
Exactly.
people have allergies when they get older, when they're adults, basically, that they didn't have when they were kids.
Yeah. So that's what happened there. So yeah, man, and she does. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be going to America at some stage, but I mean, if it's any indication the way Cheryl does stuff to food and stuff, I'm gonna really struggle.
It's all
They
right. Just
put,
find like fish and
they
chips
put
or something.
yeah somewhere because I
Yeah.
tell you they put weird combinations together, which I
That was
just
fun in Florida.
which is fine if you're American because you're used to it. But as an Irish person, I just look at that and I'm repulsed by some of the stuff that she does to our food. Um, and of course, it's the same with me. You know, she can't eat stews or coddles or anything because she can't have everything in the same pot mixing together. She's a bit weird like that. So yeah, it's mad. Right, let's do the channel shout outs anyway. That's just an insight to what our eating habits are like. I don't know why I even start talking about that, but there you go. Anyway, there's a little bit of food trivia for you anyway. So we'll go to Queen Charlotte first. Anyway, do you want to do channel shout out there?
Yeah, I'll do them quickly because I did like the long version last night. The Spacebook and Daniel Leach, and obviously here are the three main places you'll see me.
Fantastic. There you go. So, and we'll call out Real Super Doctor. So he has a Twitter account on Real Super Doctor. His YouTube channel, though, I think he's changed the name. I don't know if we can put it up there, but I'm sure he probably has it up on his Twitter account. So if you want to find him, he's a Real Super Doctor on Twitter. And PD Rich.
As you say, you can find me on Rabbi's most of the time. I don't think Rabbi's doing Saturday nights now because he doesn't seem to do Saturday nights, but might change in the future. But that's about it.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for that. And I want to thank Real Super Doctor for joining us earlier on, and to all you guys as well in the chat. Thank you for joining us for these watch along streams this weekend. Catch me over the week. As I said, I will be throwing out a few videos. Wednesday we will have Cobra Kai. We'll be doing the next 3 episodes of season 1, and it gets interesting now. So we've learned a bit about obviously all the characters. We've got introduced to them now. So the next few episodes now they start to develop even further, and we get to see shit go down. So join us for Cobra Kai every Wednesday. Right, gonna leave it there. Gonna say goodnight to you all. As I said, I'm off to watch The Masked Singer now and put those chicken nuggets on. And what? Well, actually, this is the plan. So I'll put the chicken nuggets on first. Go in, have a quick shower. Come out, then the chicken nuggets should be done. Then cut up the rolls that we've gotten because I have to cut them up because Cheryl, with her disability, she can't cut properly. So I'll cut up the rolls. take the chicken nuggets out, and then sit down and watch The Masked Singer and try to figure out who's who. And if you watched it last night, don't tell us, because we're literally catching up on last night's episode now. So we're gonna watch it now. Yeah, I actually like that show. It's funny. It's funny. It's not to be taken seriously, but I mean, if you haven't watched The Masked Singer, I would suggest, if you want to have a bit of fun and not a show that doesn't take itself seriously, but at the same time some good singing performances. You kind of have to guess who the celebrity is behind the costume. I think it was a South Korean show that was huge over there, and of course the UK brought it over, as you do. And the UK version is very, very good. They also have an American version, which Cheryl says is not as good as the UK version, but she gets that one better because obviously it's American celebrities, whereas she struggles with the UK celebrities because she's not originally from this side of the pond. She's an American, so as all Americans do, they live in their own bubble and they're arrogant and they think they're the only people that actually exist. They don't acknowledge the rest of us.
Careful, we got American people in the chat.
Oh no, Cheryl, hold on. Cheryl would actually agree with me on this one. No. This is not me having a go at her. Cheryl's very open-minded and stuff like that. But you ask her, she'll agree with me what I just said there. They're so seriously. She was talking about it to me one night about the educated. They're so in their own bubble. Seriously, so
Well, yeah, only like 20% of them have a passport.
Yeah, like some of them don't even know that there's countries outside that country that are arrogant. It's not bad or reflecting on Cheryl. Cheryl's one of these Americans that has experienced the world. There's a lot of Americans that have, as PD Rich said, don't even have a passport.
Yeah.
Have never even went outside their own county, their own city.
I know. But not all of them are bad, though. We know some nice ones.
Oh, no. I'm not saying they're all bad, but all I'm just saying is they're arrogant, just like the Germans and the French, and the Italians maybe. We just, us Irish, we just like taking the piss out of the whole lot of yous and having a laugh, The English take themselves too seriously.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We take
that way too seriously, and then we have parties when we're not supposed to.
Irish people's trait is we're not good with money. Irish people get money. We become assholes, and then we begrudge anybody that has money. That's us. There's a couple of countries I think are nice. I'd like to live because they seem to not take themselves too seriously. The Danish people, for example, wouldn't mind living in Denmark. Maybe Sweden or Norway, nice countries as well. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that Cheryl wouldn't agree with. It's just, whereas the rest of us in Europe are more open and we explore. They kind of live within their own bubble because America, all of that attitude and stuff. Like she even does it herself. She takes the piss. But yeah, Americans take that's the one thing I'm going to struggle with as well because they really do take themselves very seriously. I'm going to struggle with that because I'm going to laugh half of the time. And I have to remember I'm in a different country and I have to...
Yeah, most of the ones you meet, though, won't be like the stereotype. I'll just say that.
Oh, no. Well, if my wife is
a bit of a stereotype.
Well, listen, if my wife is out to go by, I mean, I know a few Americans as well who are nice people.
It's like we don't think all Irish people come from County Cork.
No, well, no. Actually, Cork doesn't exist to us Dublin people.
Exactly.
Don't even bring Cork into this. I can't believe you actually brought Cork into this.
Oh, right. Night, everybody.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Anyway, Charlotte needs to go. Real Super Doctor's popped in, so we let him do his channel shout out. And then, as I said, I'm leaving straight away because the wife, she's going to kill me. I was supposed to fucking finish up at 9 o'clock. We ran 40 minutes over because I couldn't help myself at the start of the fucking stream. So, literally, because this show's on for 2 hours. So, I don't really fucking sit here for 2 hours, but I have to. because my back is already killing me, and I want to have my shower. Shit. Damn. Anyway, let's bring Real Super Doctor on. Right, Real Super Doctor, do your channel shout out there, and then we can head off.
I've got a Twitter under Real Super Fugitive Doctor.
Oh, okay, Fugitive
Right.
Doctor again. Right, and channel?
It's under John Caligari.
Right, are you going to change that name to Real and use that channel from now on?
Yeah, I think I'm going to use that channel from now on.
Right then, well maybe I don't know. Are you
I'll
going to
link
keep
in the
that name?
private,
Well,
I'll
keep
grab it.
that name or whatever, and
Yeah,
stuff.
just keep that name then out.
Right. So that's his new channel. The link will be put in the chat there, folks. So go and check it out. So we'll leave it there. I'm going to leave you with the channel trailer. So good night, folks.
Good
Have
night.
a good one. And we'll see you next week. Stay safe. Bye.